follow trawler. It's because they think sardines will be thrown into the sea. Thank you very much.
Talking nonsense. So I thought, no, enough's enough. Why should I put up with that? Talking nonsense. So I thought, no, enough's enough. Why should I put up with that? Don't back down, double down. Don't back down, double down. Yes, here we go. It is Thursday morning. Are we on to Thursday? Aye, Thursday morning, 7:30 in the morning. I've been up since 5, man. What is happening here? This off the drink stuff. It's not good to anyone, man. Fucking, I used to enjoy my bed. But to be fair, I mean, it sounds like I'm getting up early, like the little sleep in that. I mean, I just put on one wee thing on Netflix and I'm off like that. So I think I was asleep for about 7 last night, to be fair. So I've had plenty of sleep. Up and about and with it, and I hope you all are too. I can't believe there's 25 of you other nutters that have jumped on the bus this time of the morning. Good morning to you all. Remember, do all that good stuff. Give us a like, give us a share, hit the subscribe button. If you've already subscribed, hit the bell. If you want to become a member, there's options to do that. We don't put any fucking pressure on that, though, shit, because the bus has only been rolling in 2-3 times a month, I think, most of this season. Twice a month, really. Albeit we've done, I think this is our 4th episode of the new year already, so that isn't bad. We used to do the Bhoycie Breakfast Bar back in the day, in the first year of the channel. I used to do these every week. I say every week, I think it lasted about 7-8 weeks, do you know what I mean? But it was good fun, so I just thought, I'm up. What else am I going to do whilst I wait to go to my work? I could have went into work early, which I'm still going to do, but do you know what I mean? You've got to kind of get that balance right and like not going too early and feel like you've just lost your life to the office. So anyway, I thought this morning we'd have a wee look, because we don't really talk about the football matters, about the football matters at Celtic enough on the channel. We're always feel like, and maybe it's a special subject in my wee tiny mind, that talking about bold stuff and talking about off the field things, strategies off the field to make Celtic more money in it. I don't really talk about the on-field scenarios enough. And the on-field scenario is a reality that we're going to just have a wee glance at right now. And that'll be looking at the SPFL table. So I'm just going to share my screen and you can see the research and how I do it. And it's absolutely fucking minimal. If I was going to go live and talk about the league table, I'll just do the research just with you all just in front of you. So there's how the league table looks right now for Celtic. Celtic dropped to 3rd thanks to Rangers beating Aberdeen, not last night but the night before, 2-0. They have played a game more now. It's incredible when you look at the league table, when you see the fact we are behind Rangers now. We've actually won when you're looking at the form guide. I don't know if you can see my mouse when I'm circling these things. Probably not, so I don't know why I'm doing that. It's not a lecture, Bhoycie, do you know what I mean, in the boardroom. But they've won 5 of their last 6. And that's what's led them to being above us. If you look at ours, I don't know if you've seen the amazing tweet that went round about a week ago. I'm not sure of the guy who posted it. I wish I could remember his name. But if you look at, I'm pointing now, fucking hell, you can't see the mouse, you can't see where I'm pointing to in the screen. It's that way, right? It's that way. But if you actually look at Celtic's form guide, someone says, fuck's sake, it really spells Lowell. And if you look, double L, double W, double L. Yep, you're right. It nearly does spell Lowell indeed. And what a way for him to sign off with that being the form guide for Celtic. Of course, Nancy got a couple of wins. He beat 10-man Aberdeen with 2 goals in the last few minutes. He managed to go behind twice to Livingston, who are rock bottom of the league. If we have a look at them, I'll get the whole table up, that's better. Livingston with 1 win this season, took the lead twice against Celtic under Nancy. We did go out and win 4-2 in the end, but it's been back to 2 defeats on the spin. Obviously, the most recent one, the most hurtful one for the manager, but the most hurtful one for us as well, more importantly, because that was just so frustrating when you look at the second half in that game. It hurt us a lot more than I think it hurt the manager. I always don't got the vibe, or the former manager, I should say. I always got the impression with him, he wasn't too surprised when these results were occurring, or these second half sort of performances were occurring, or first half performances, or full game performances in his case. But yeah, we're now sitting with a game in hand, and I think if we have a wee look at the fixtures, we can work out how that's going to play out. So obviously this weekend, Rangers will stay a game ahead of us by the time the weekends round up. We can level the games on Saturday with a home game against Dundee United. What's happening with the boycott? Get in touch in the comments as well, because I'd like to find out. I didn't speak to them. I got an email from the Fans Collective, and I think now their next move is that they're going for this sort of meeting with Brian Wilson and co, with unity at the forefront of it. I don't think Brian Wilson could talk about unity whilst he's not let a section of the supporters back in. And I think as well, when we look at how toxic it got at the weekend, that shows you that you can't really just pinpoint one group of supporters and blame them for the fury, the outcry, the rage that's currently happening at Celtic Park, because it's throughout the ground, and it's unanimous, and it's universal, and it's deserved. They need to stop trying to blame everyone else for folk being raging. Folk are raging because of the shit show they've performed. But here, I'm back to the board already, so apologies. When we look, the Holy Goalie, when's John O'Making is long awaited? That is mad, because he literally just texted me 2 seconds ago. That is mad that you've just done that, Holy Goalie. I'll get him back on. I'll get him on this week or something like that. I'll see what he's up to. In fact, what's more likely, Monday? I know I'm on that Trinity Tim's thing podcast on Monday with Eric, with Joe McHugh, and with James Forrest. I'm on that on Monday, but I could probably jump on this one after with Jonathan. Well, I will see what he's up to. Anyway, Dundee United at home, Martin O'Neill's first game. I'm excited for us to get back to winning ways. I think the players will get that manager bounce. I think they've cornered themselves. They've got to give themselves that manager bounce, because this is what they wanted. They have arrived at a situation they were technically in a way, and I think Luke McCowan explained it, we're chasing almost, and that was to get Nonce out the door. We don't understand what he wants. You've seen our best form. It was under Martin O'Neill, so he's now back. No excuses. You've got the trainer and Sean Maloney back as well. He's shouting things like, "This is the midfield that I know," etc. I've seen that in the training video, and that's great. But over to them now. But I do think they'll deliver, and I think we'll get a strong win against Dundee United. But Aberdeen look like a bit of a basket case right now. We've done a bit of a sweepstake at work. We've got to predict the full table. I've got them in my top 6. Regretting it already. Regretting it. And Rangers go there. And of course, Hearts will lead the way, by the way. I mean, let's not forget that. My honest belief is Hearts will fall away before the end of the season. I don't deny that. I don't think Hearts will win the league. I think Hearts will finish third in the end. They go away to Dundee under Elvis. A Hearts legend, you could say as well, the Dundee manager. So that'll be interesting. But at least they're both away from home. We're at home. Is it a chance for us to claw back 3 points on Hearts? It's a chance. I don't think it's a gimme. As for Rangers, I expect them to take care of really lacking in confidence Aberdeen. But who knows, by the way, because as much as they've got 5 wins from the last 6, some of their form this season has been absolutely shocking, and Leopards don't always change their spots too quickly. I know there's a lot of Danny Roll hype, and by the way, fair play to them. I can understand why. Right, so then the catch-up game, as you can see here, is Wednesday next week, and we go to Falkirk. That's not an easy one. It's the type of game under Nonce you would write off, and it's the type of game under Martin O'Neill that you go in with hope. But you can't go in if we've not strengthened by then with much more than that. Hearts at home to St Mirren, you'd fancy them to get the job done against the St Mirren side, who I think's peak of this season will be obviously winning the League Cup, and I think the low point of this season may well be their manager departing to Aberdeen. I think he's strongly linked there. That wouldn't surprise me. I think it would be a smart move for Aberdeen. So they might be managerless by then. So we've got to assume that they'll take their 3 points then. I'm only doing this to the end of January, by the way. Don't fucking worry. We get to a week on Saturday. No, not a week on Saturday. 16 days time. There must be a break. 10-day break. And then we have, because it'll be Scottish Cup. We've got Auchinleck Talbot, of course. And then we've got this crucial game. And that is going to shape our season. And not because I think Hearts will win the league. Albeit if they beat us convincingly at Tynecastle, I might change my mind on that. But I think we'll have recruitment's in by then. Not because I've got faith that this board change all of a sudden their mindset, but I just think Martin O'Neill's going to have that drive. But I've said this before about Brendan. I think Brendan will have them, their feet to the coal fire or whatever the saying is. I don't know if that's the saying at all. But I think Martin, it would be as disgusting an act as they've ever done if they don't get Martin O'Neill recruitment fast. Yes, I accept it'll be loaned, because that's because during all this madness, what Celtic managed to do throughout it all, and I think is designed sometimes, is lower your expectation level. So rather than me talking like I normally do every window with these about, I think we should be looking at the 6 to 10 million bracket, flip them into 20, 30 million pound players and go again, but maybe go to 8 to 10 million, 8 to 12 million sort of bracket. I'm not even talking about that. I'm talking about loan players. So my expectations, my hopes, they've all been dropped as well. But I do think we'll bring in a bit of quality. I'm really pining for the signing of Callum Wilson. I don't know why, because I know he's got an injury record, but I just feel he fits that profile of player that O'Neill will get the best out of. It'd be his Indian summer of his career. I've got a feeling he'd score a barrel load up here. I'm really hoping that's one that we can look at. But I think there'll be fierce competition. They might need to pay 50 grand a week. People scoff at that. 50 grand a week isn't a lot when you're meant to be a Champions League football club. It's not. And the money is there to pay it. But yeah, back to the 25th of January. Rangers are going to take their 3 points because they didn't do it last time at home to Dundee. I think they'll expect to do that this time around. And us away to Hearts, we can't let it slip. So that'll be a huge game. And we'll see how far the pendulum is swinging in Celtic's favour. I think by the end of that month, we'll just dip into the round off that weekend. Rangers then away to Hibs, which will be tricky, and us at home to Falkirk. So when we look at the fixtures coming up, January fixtures, we've got 3 points. Should we say 3 points of the Falkirk game? Let's go 6 points. And then who knows with the Hearts one. I do go into that game with trepidation. But we need to be targeting 7 from 9. Well, we need to be targeting 9 from 9. But I think I would accept right now if you offered me it 7 from 9. And we build from there. That gives us right up to the 31st of January, the 1st of February, whenever the window closes, for us to then look at where the squad is. We've picked up enough points to be remaining well within the pack for this title. And then we go for there for the jugular for the last few months with the new recruits in. Looking forward to the next derby. Looking forward to all the games in between where Martin definitely cleared up in his interim spell last time around. And we're hoping that he will again do so. Let's have a wee look at the comments to see what has been coming in. Big Red says, I don't think the game should be boycotted. Boycott the shop and the food, support the team. But hey, it's my two bobs off, each to their own. That's my opinion. I know, and I hear what you're saying, by the way. I think when it comes to boycotts, what you need to look at, Big Red, is they need a visual to get these guys to react. Far too often now, we don't see enough reaction from the board until it's too late. They need to understand that they're not fit for purpose. I'll give you, and what is it going to take to make the penny drop for the likes of a Michael Nicholson, right? Look at Michael Nicholson, Big Red. This is a guy who has managed to fail every window. He sold Kyogo last January. He brought in players after pre-season the summer before, when it looked like we're having our best pre-season in years. Remember we beat Chelsea, Man City in America, and he failed to back the manager during that time. He waited to the last minute and overpaid for Engels, overpaid for Ida, and both of them paid the price for that in the eyes of the supporters who couldn't separate the two. And the price tag has hamstrung the ability to view a 7 out of 10 from Engels other than a 6 out of 10 because he was 11 million. And with Ida, it didn't allow you to view 20 goals as your first full season without a pre-season behind you at Celtic. A load of shit, a shit show all summer in terms of would he stay, would he go? He still got 20 goals. We couldn't look at the 20 goals. Boy, we could be doing with them now, though. But we couldn't view the 20 goals for the value they brought to the season because of he would be overpaid for him by paying £9 million. That's on Nicholson. And then obviously on the supporters for not being able to view it through a balanced prism. But that's a different story altogether. That's their gift to do that. Football's an emotional game. It's up to the CEO to not be like that and get these decisions made early, timely, and at the best possible value for Celtic. Not wait till the last minute and then just pay whatever's fucking pitched to you because you can't be seen to lose face and not get them over the line. That's what happened with Nicholson. We got to the January, decided to get rid of Kyogo. And by the way, I say he because unless he's a puppet, come out and tell us you're a fucking puppet then, Nicholson, you dick. Come out and say, I've got no say in all of this. It's Dermot who does it. I'm CEO and title only. But you won't do that. So whilst you're CEO, I'm going to hold you to account, big boy, because that is the title of your role. That is the importance of your role. And that is what you are failing at miserably. So we then get to this window. We sell Nicholas Kuhn straight away. You know, these windows are really tricky to do business in, unless it comes to Celtic selling. And we're shit hot. We're exceptional. We're right out the traps. Let's do the negotiations. Let's ramp up the offer to some that looks feasible, and let's sell. When it comes to recruit, not so much. We get to the summer. Nicholas Kuhn's that's now our leading goal scorer the last 3.5 years, gone in January, and our second top scorer, the highest goal contributor, Nicholas Kuhn, gone in the early stages of the summer. We fannied about all summer. We left Brendan Rodgers hung out to dry, press conference after press conference. Michael Nicholson failed to even remotely regard the Champions League with the respect that it deserves, as Celtic have done many a time, and didn't tool up the manager because he thought Kairat was a scoosh. Well, we went out to Kairat on penalties. Shame on Michael Nicholson for that. Shame on the players and the manager for putting in such turgid performances. But I do give them more sympathy than I give the CEO, who refused to acknowledge that Celtic in any way, shape or form wouldn't be just coasting into the Champions League. When the fuck have we ever done that? It was our 5th year of qualification in a row to the Champions League, our 5th attempt for qualification in a row that we failed to make it. So where this fucking air of we'll swan that, we'll cruise that came from, I will never know, mate. Never know. In fact, did I just say mate there? Michael Nixon, you're not my mate. Right. He then proceeds to not bring in a striker in the summer window. But Ian Acho. Ian Acho was signed after the window. That's how mad all this is. That's how mad. A free transfer after the window. He got rid of our 2 strikers from the season before. One mid-season and then one in the summer. And didn't replace either in the January window or the summer window. That is a dereliction of duty. That's unacceptable. He brought in Iniacho on a free. We wonder why he was on a free, because he's obviously got injury problems. He's not been playing much. He's not fit. He's going to break down quite easily. And that's what's happened. That's what's happened. He then decides, in his infinite wisdom, to keep pissing off Brendan in that window. Brendan decides after a few bad results going, fuck this. Like, we've not strengthened. The results are now fucking nosediving. The performances are nosediving. And I'm going to be the fall guy for it all. I'm exiting stage left. Daddy Dermot comes in. He then scorches Brendan. Nicholson says nothing. We then rehire Martin O'Neill. Celtic do a video welcome back. All the frills. The bunting was out. O'Neill gets 7 out of 8 done. Just keep a hold of him, yeah? This is working. No. We're going to go with what that Tisdale guy appointed, whenever the fuck I appointed him, October 2024. He's not made the decision in a while. He's decided that we're going to get on Wilfred Nonce because of his assistant at Exeter. Bring him in. Nicholson doesn't attend the welcoming presser from Wilfred Nonce, but then instantly puts all blame on the shitty results under Nonce onto the said manager and onto Tisdale, and ducks the blame yet again. When will he become the fall guy? The clock is ticking on you, Mr. Nicholson. The clock is ticking. Fans have finally got their eyes on the board, and you, my friend, are front, left, centre right now of what is needed to be removed. But how do we do it, Big Red? This has been the most long-winded answer to a question I've ever done. Boycotting the match is an option being explored, and I can understand that. Because when you look at all those examples I just gave you, Big Red, how's he not lost his job already? What does it take? And by the way, see, the other point is, why does he want his job? He must know with the examples I've just given there, he's shit at this. He is shit at being the CEO of Celtic. He is not fit for the job. He's not good enough. He's incompetent at being a CEO of Celtic. Yet here we are. He still stays in it. So he's only in it to grab money whilst claiming to you he's the protector of money and we ring fence money to keep Celtic safe and all that bollocks. Nonsense. He is there stealing a wage and a handsome 800 grand on it that. And I bet you'll get a bonus again this year as well for some fucking sign. They'll find a way. It's absolutely disgraceful, I should say. Right, here's another question, a different tact. I like this. P. McLaughlin. Do you think Martin has been fly name dropping Wolfsburg? Genuinely, I didn't. I think he's just repeated what he's told, and I think his tone was very, very much like, oh fuck. I think he's read the room and realised no one knew it was Wolfsburg. What would be the benefits to it? P. McLaughlin reply if you so wish, mate. But he's definitely letting you know that he was disappointed. He's not. If you've already replied, maybe he doesn't want a half-hearted player around. I'm not sure. I think he's just flagging. I actually think he's trying to protect Dyson, to be honest with you. I think he's trying to say that he was disappointed. He's not name-checked the club deliberately, but he's saying, look, he was really close to a move. He said Wolfsburg, right? But that gives you an idea of the magnitude as well. Bundesliga, SPFL, chalk and cheese. And you can understand why he'd want to explore something else. And you know something? From a personal point of view, did anyone else find it quite refreshing that it was Wolfsburg that he was gutted about and not fucking Bournemouth or fucking Brighton and Hove Albion or fucking Brentford? I don't know why I'm going through all the B's in England, but all these mediocre clubs that players now fucking hedging their bets on and absolutely crossing all their fingers and their toes to one day get to join. When they're utter dog meat clubs, they're just fucking massive because of the circumstances they find themselves in and the surroundings that they find themselves in and the environment of the EPL money. It pisses me off, all that, to be honest with you. Let's have a wee look. In comes Capitalist Pig. I recognise your avatar and I can't think of your name, mate. I feel bad. I don't remember it being the Capitalist Pig. I think our pro recruitment only display. What the fuck is your name? That's annoying me. I think our pro recruitment only displays that we incompetent people in positions of authority, that we have incompetent people in positions of authority, hence lack of organisation, lack of confidence, and last minute scrambling. Definitely. I totally agree with that. Lupe's on. It's very rare we get Lupe. I know Lupe watches most of the shows, regular commenter, but very rarely live. So a good morning to you from where I am, and a good evening, I suspect, where you are, Lupe. Brilliant to have you on, pal. And he's saying the fact they couldn't get deals done shows a complete lack of contingency planning. There's no planning, full stop, Lupe. Let's be absolutely real. And he follows it up with we already knew, it doesn't make any difference whether we knew Maida was going to Wolfsburg. We also already knew Yang was meant to be away to Birmingham, which is a great point. And nobody's batted an eyelid at that. In fact, I'm hearing folk are on something called a Yang gang. I'm not really sure about that. I think that label should get dropped. Aye, whoever's using it, you know who you are. Protecting Dosh by wasting $5 million on a 33-day project to learn the ball is the ball. Interesting. I highly doubt it was a $5 million outlay. I think he'll get paid 6 months of his contract, Patrick Kerrigan, but it's still substantial. It'll be into 7 figures, the outlay that's been paid, when you include the compensation fee to Columbus, when you include the coaching staff, and as I say, the 6 months paid up on Wilfred Nonsi, plus the signing on fee and things like that. Plus whatever errands you've got him running from other people, if he's got scouts dedicated to somewhere. All these missions have cost money. But yeah, some job of protecting Dosh, as you say, Patrick. You're absolutely spot on to highlight that, mate, and well said. Albeit I don't think it'll be as much as 5 million. The actual principle of what you're saying makes total sense, man. The holy goalie, he should know a thing or two about goalkeepers. Drop Schmeichel. It's so obvious he only wants a last World Cup swan song. Yeah, I mean, definitely. But we need to accept sometimes if we're going to get players like, as I say, Callum Wilson, it's going to be because he's been released on a free by West Ham. If we want an Iniacho, it's going to be because he's had his contract mutually ripped up. These things are unfortunately going to be part of us wanting to get top level. And I think when Schmeichel joined, I say top level Celtic can kind of seem to attract these days, I think. But when Schmeichel joined, Schmeichel looked absolutely at it. He was leaner, he was more agile, he was more commanding, he was less pointing everywhere. He just seemed more focused, in control, and his performances have escaped him. And I'd be amazed if he could hang on to be in the Denmark #1 as far away as another 5-6 months' time. Because look at his performance against Scotland. If we're asking questions at Celtic, the Danish fans will be asking questions about him. But yeah, he's 100% retiring this summer. I'm in no doubt about that. He's not good enough now to do it. And he must know that inside. And I suppose he'll be the last person to find out he isn't good enough. And I get that with a sporting mindset and a competitive streak that these guys must have that is fucking surreal to get to elite sportsman levels. But the penny must be dropping for him. And as I say, the Danes, as much as it has with the Celtic fans as well. Bhoycie, do you think 2 strikers, and if we got one in and scrambling, Kyogo on loan, I don't want it back for this way? No. Honestly, I'm so against it, Patrick. His goal scoring days are done. He is 18 months now not being a Predator goal scorer. 6 months at Celtic, not scoring goals. 6 months at, was it Rennes, not scoring goals. 6 months at Birmingham City, not scoring goals. And he was, I think they paid £10 million for him. He was meant to be their talisman. There is no way I want Kyogo back, mate. We can't keep doing this. If you were bringing a striker back, give me Giakoumakis every day of the fucking week. He'd be more affordable. He would be far more likely to score a lot of goals. He'd be more profitable in front of goal for us, mate. But as for Kyogo back, absolutely not. Not for me. And I don't know why there always has to be a player coming back. But I take your point. You're saying if we were scrambling. So I take that point. If we're scrambling, a player back, give me Giakoumakis, not Kyogo, every day of the week right now. I think Kyogo would fail massively. Cat's running about the house like we've fucking got something like a burglar in here, man. Jeez, shat myself, man. Patrick, aye. Giakoumakis all day, one touch, Jacko. What do we used to call him? Chaos Giakoumakis back in the early days of the bus. I loved that. Jimmy K sent him, just agreeing with my sentiments. Schmeichel would be lucky to get a call up the way he's playing. Definitely. Boys, I would take O back. Fuck no. It didn't work out at Celtic. It might work out elsewhere, but no. It wouldn't work here. It doesn't work here. He's proved that. He's not good enough. Or it doesn't fit Celtic. He might be good enough elsewhere, but not in a Celtic shirt. It just doesn't work. Oh, Martin Larsson Jr., it's time. Larsson and O'Neill to guide us to the title. Oh. And by the way, see if they do want to have half a, I've said this years ago, 3 or 4 years ago when we were linked with them. If they had half a brain cell when it came to actually how to pitch ideas for the club in terms of bringing in revenue. O'Neill with Larsson and Henrik the other side of it. That's how you do it. Anyway, I'm going to get out of here. That's 8 o'clock. I just wanted to do a wee short show, talk some shite to you. There was over 100 at one point. I'm chuffed with that. Enjoy the rest of your day, whatever you're up to. Larson Senior compared to what we've got. I get that. Well, speaking of Larson Senior, head over to the Overlap because he is not live, but they're just airing the premiere of that show with Roy Keane, Gary Neville, Jamie Carragher, Ian Wright, and the King of Kings as their guest. So I'm going to go watch that on the way to work. I will see you all later. Enjoy your Thursday. Be good. See you.